Hello, my name's Ben and today we're going to be making an electronics mini lab. Now we're going to open the electronics mini lab. Yippee! So, first, this is to control it, the Arduino is to control it, called the Totem Electronics. We've got the main board, which is on the top, that goes on there. We've got some little plates that are to help build it. We've got the screwdriver and key, more plates, more little pieces, a pair of screws, some little plastic screws, and more little plastic plates. We have a snip cable with a little notch at the top to make it so you can only put it in one way. We've got a plug, a cable, USB to, I don't know how much cable, lots of wires, and then we've got two breadboards to go on there, on like that. We've got all the plastic rods and some more wires. And that's everything in this box. This is the parts list of what we are going to be making today. And this is some of the instructions of how to make the base, along with the user guide. I'll just open these two bags with the scissors. First one. And second one. My first part of the build is the base, which is this piece. So far, I've made the outside of the base. I only have these last two to put in. So I'm going to put them in now. One, two. I'm going to take the Arduino out of its packet, and then first I'll put that one through there. That one's to stay on there. Start tightening it, and then hold that and just keep going. We've just made these two, and now we are going to put them on the board. First one. Oh. There we go. Tight. Now we are going to put the mini lab board onto the front frame, which is going to be fastened in the same way as the Arduino on the base frame. The front panel, and it's going to look like that. Then we're going to put the whole thing onto that, and then we are going to put the cable through and into there. This is what the mini lab looks like complete. After building the mini lab, now I'm going to solder together the components of side panel number 1. Yay! Let's see what we've got in the box. So, all of the components. We have the plastic rods, the nuts, and the bolts. Then we have the board that we will solder them all onto. That's all that's in the box. Bye box. I need to identify my components and match them up on the board.
Go on.
Now I have everything ready. I have resistors, LEDs, relay, switches, variable resistors, capacitor, diode, and connectors. Now let's start soldering components onto the board. So 2 LEDs are in position and won't fall out. Just need to put the last one in. The
there's two connections coming out of the LED. One is longer than the other. The short end has a little flat end on it. The flat goes in, and the flat lines up with the flat on there. So I'll put the flat in, lined up with that, and then bend the sticks right at the bottom on both of them, and then it won't fall out. Next, I'll solder the bits together. Now I'll move on to soldering the rest of the components. Before I solder the rest of the components onto the board, I'm going to snip the excess wire off the board. For safety, I'm turning it upside down. Last one. I am checking these resistors are 220 ohm before I put them onto the board. Yep. As you can see, I have completed the first set. They are connectors, LEDs, resistors and switches. Now the second part of the board is complete. We have two sets of connectors and variable resistors, or potentiometers. For the middle of the board, I'm going to test these resistors to make sure they are 10k. Yep. Good. We are now going to finish off the last half of the board. The board is almost complete. I just need to solder 4 more pins on the relay. Now the board is complete. I just need to put the control knobs onto the board. So I'll twist them around. And that needs to be at 0. And I'll line these up. Just one of them. 2. 3, just one more. That was a hard one. Well, this is what it looks like complete. Yay, we finally did it. After building the mini lab and side panel 1, it's time to build side panel 2. Yay. Let's see what's in the box. all of the stuff to build it onto the mini lab. All of the components, including a little screen in this one, and the board. Let's have a look at the components we've got. So, we have some resistors. Control knob, and the knob for the buzzer, diode, connector, plug socket, won't come out, microphone, button, capacitor in this one. We have a jumper, just a little chip, more resistors, and a few more diodes, a few more connectors. So we have a capacitor and a temperature sensor and a screen. I'll now open the main board and start soldering. There's the main board. Let's test this capacitor to see if it's 100 NF. Yeah. After checking resistors 1, 2 and 4 are 10k, I've soldered them onto the board. After checking that capacitors 1, 2 and 3 are 1 UF from the circuit diagram, I soldered them onto the board, and they are not 100 NF as the picture diagram says. The microphone with amplifier is done. Now the organic LED display and the humidity sensor. The screen, humidity sensor and thermistor have been soldered. It is now time to finish the board. Yay! Side panel 2 is now complete. I just need to connect it to the mini lab with the connector strip. The mini lab is now complete. Now I am going to check that the temperature sensor works with this screen. Also, I have added a distance sensor to the breadboard.